But often when I do these presentations, I talk about economic impact, I talk about finance and strategy, and I get all carried away with that. Let's not forget, we're talking about memorable sport at an iconic venue. We are the world's third oldest Test match venue, and I don't know if any of you are at Trent Bridge when Stuart Broad took his hat-trick during the India Test match. The noise that was absolutely amazing. The place went berserk. I've never heard noise like it at Trent Bridge in all my time, even the 2005 Ashes. But what a fantastic day it was. That was projected worldwide to an audience right across the globe. And I could talk for ages on World 2020 in 2009, where something very similar happened. Absolutely fantastic. So how did we actually win the Ashes? Again, it could be a sort of long lecture about competition. Let me just say to you categorically, you may think that we exist in some sort of cosy bubble at Trent Bridge where matches come to us by right every year, a Test match and one-day international. I can reassure you that competition within cricket is phenomenally fierce. It really is. It's fierce in all your businesses, public and private sector. In cricket, it is absolutely incredible. So in our bid, apologies, I'm really too heavy on this. In our bid, we basically set it up as a sales pitch to our governing body. Every single package of matches in the 7 or 8 packages that were available had a fixed price. What we had to do was convince the governing body that we were better than these other venues that you can see up on the screen. And we adopted, Glenn talked about collaboration, so did Yvonne as well. Collaboration and teamwork and partnership were right behind our success. And I'm so proud to say that we competed with Cardiff, we competed with Southampton, we competed with Manchester and Birmingham. Birmingham at Edgbaston had just put up a new £30 million stand. We competed with them and we won. Nottingham won. It beat Birmingham and it beat Manchester. And if we are to be truly world class, we have to have that aspiration moving forward in years to come. But being world class isn't just about infrastructure, not just about winning major events. It's actually what you do with the major events. And David, you set the challenge in the papers you sent out as to how we relate winning a major sporting event at a venue like Trent Bridge or the Ice Arena to the people on the streets and to local communities. We have a vision that we set out in our bid to our governing body, a vision where we bring together the young people from every single city hosting an Ashes Test match in 2013. So the youngsters in Durham, in Manchester, in London, in Nottingham come together. We link up the community programmes. We've already started that work. We want your help, the Nottingham City Council, to help us with other local authorities around the country. Not only that, we want to link also up with the venues in Australia, hosting the Ashes series in 2013 and 2014. How fantastic would that be? We've already touched base with Melbourne. They're right behind us. We want you to help us in achieving that objective. And being world class, as I say, it isn't just about the big stuff. Last year, the match referee, Ranjan Madagali, who was refereeing the match referee from the ICC, our test match at Trent Bridge, debriefing afterwards, he said to me that our facilities at Trent Bridge, for the third umpires, the scorers, the media, the match control, the security, the safety, were the best in the world, with the exception of the Melbourne Cricket Ground. And I don't mind being second behind Melbourne. Do you? With a capacity of 100,000. Last year, an independent firm called Kantar did some market research on the consumer experience at every single cricket venue in the country. Trent Bridge was top. It was top of the international venues. It was top of all the domestic venues. Not only that, we were in the top 10% of world-class sporting venues. Absolutely fantastic. That hasn't been publicised right across because there are some figures in there. Hopefully this isn't to be sent out on your YouTube or anything else. There are some venues there which didn't do very well. They're very sensitive about it, and at some stage that'll be released. But I can tell you those figures confidentially this morning. Absolutely fantastic. On Wednesday of this week, the team from Lancashire at Old Trafford in Manchester, huge city, was sent to Nottingham to talk to us about how we run our events, how we operate our security, how we train our stewards. And they went away, I think, very impressed. And on that day, 20 people came to Trent Bridge to be trained up for their NVQ in spectator safety and stewarding. those 20 people were ex-offenders. 40 of our stewards, of our 240 stewards, working at Trent Bridge this summer will be ex-offenders. We are doing so much with the probationary services. I'm so pleased, David, to have been part of the One Nottingham board. All the ethos there, all those issues, so important. So can you see now how we're linking a global event to communities and people on the streets? And I so would love any of you to come and have a look at our community work at Trent Bridge during the year. Being world class is not just about accepting where we are and winning something fantastic as we've done with your support. It's about setting our sights even higher. We want to bring the 2019 Cricket World Cup to Nottingham. We want to bring the 2019 Ashes to Nottingham. We want to keep that ambition going. So we want to carry on investing in our infrastructure. That's hugely, hugely important. And we have some plans for our scoreboard next winter and a new stand over the next couple of years. And we shall need to have partner support in that. And finally, we must celebrate our success and develop partnerships to ensure we stay ahead of the game. That's a message not just for Trent Bridge, it's a message for Nottingham as a whole. And I want to finish on something I wasn't going to say, but I just wanted to finish on this note, picking up on 2 points that Glenn made in his presentation. I think, Glenn, you made the point that actually it's all about creating the right environment where things can happen. And our role as leaders, we're all leaders in Nottingham, is to create the environment where outstanding performance and outstanding achievement can take place. And our second task as leaders in creating this world-class vision is to develop, is to actually untap the potential of the people who work with us. There is huge untapped potential in absolutely everybody working in every organisation, be it the City Council, being at the Ice Arena, being at Trent Bridge, BioCity, Nottingham Trent, the list could go on. And I think we have a great responsibility there. And that, for my mind, in conclusion, is what being world-class is about, getting the very most of our people to support all our infrastructure developments. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, I'm not sure I can surpass that one. Sure are a heavyweight, but I quite like the title of Pocket Rocket. I'm going with that. Thank you very much. I'm here to talk about Lakeside, which is the University of Nottingham's public arts centre and museum, more of which later. In our first decade, we've welcomed more than 1 million visitors to our, I would say, world-class programme of visiting performing, visual and participatory arts and heritage. We've had our most successful exhibition to date this year. The Lowry welcomed 46,800 people through our doors. That's remarkable. And you may also know about something called Lustre, which is our contemporary craft makers market. Runs in November each year, is a platform for 55 selected makers from across the UK, and also a start-out platform for young meteors, young makers who are drawn from 4 universities across the region. But maybe you don't know about the rest of our programme, and this is an opportunity to give you a bit of an insight into that. The Genogly Recital Hall and Genogly Theatre both play host to a veritable smorgasbord of wonderful folk, roots, world, jazz, chamber music on a year-round basis. From the Tashi monastery monks, who are the ones with the rather fabulous hats, to a prize-winning series of international string quartets, and folk and roots legends, Ali Bain and Phil Cunningham, and then young Akin Musari, who's coming next week. It's an extraordinary programme, and it's not just at one time of the year, it's on a year-round basis. And I think it's a diversity and a quality which is hard to beat not only in the city, but regionally, and we're up there with the best of the nationals. We're not only a receiving house for the best of small to mid-scale UK and international touring theatre, but we also we co-produce, we support the development of new work. We support local artists like Michael Pinchbeck with his trilogy, which interestingly began with the end and is continuing with the beginning right now. We premiered Billy Ivory's first ever stage play, and we had his second stage play, Bomber's Moon, which ran for a month after it had been with us in Coventry last year. We co-commissioned 2 amazing international choreographers to create a piece of dance theatre for children and families, Telling Tales in the middle there, which toured to 20 venues nationally. And our most recent success, Red Riding Hood, which is a new adaptation by the Olivier Award-winning writer Mike Kenny, played to 6,000 people in Nottingham before Christmas and has gone on national tour with a sellout run at Jackson's Lane in London. We have 2 smaller galleries as well, and just briefly I'll mention the fact that we mainly premiere work by regional artists in the Wallner Gallery. That's a very interesting collaboration, the Joe Berry one, with bioscientists in QMC. And then, of course, the Western Gallery, which is like a public platform for the university's incredible treasure trove of manuscripts and special collections. And our next exhibition in there will be a Lawrence one, which will coincide with the International Lawrence Conference in Nottingham in July. Developing skills and encouraging participation is at the core of everything that we do. And I'm interested, Graham was talking about developing Indigenous skills. That's something that is absolutely at the root of what we do. It's about bringing in fantastic national, international work to inspire the development of our young people locally, our children and young people. And since we opened, we've developed 4 youth theatres, 2 gallery art groups, loads of summer schools, holiday workshops. The list is endless. I don't have time to go into the detail here. But most recently, we're very proud of our newest invention, the LYTX, this group down in the bottom right-hand corner, who were Audition. So an Audition group, we're looking at improving their skills, raising their game. And they are right now rehearsing for National Connections Festival, which happens in Sheffield next week. If they get beyond that, and I'm sure they will because it's a brilliant production, they will go to London to be part of the National Theatre's National Connections programme. We also have a major programme of education work. We work in partnership with Keys to Success in Bilborough. We run a programme of workshops linked to visiting productions. We've had teachers telling us that they will move the time of year that they study certain things in the English syllabus to coincide with our wraparound programme for GCSE and A-level students. This is excellence. This is something that is working, and it's on your doorstep. We also do big events. We're actually right now rehearsing 250 members of an orchestra and choir for a concert that's happening in the Albert Hall this weekend, which will be great fun. But we do things like Chinese New Year. That huge crowd is Chinese New Year. It's a major celebration in the city's cultural calendar. We don't do it ourselves. We do it in partnership with the City Council, with Broxton Borough Council, with Gedling and Rushcliffe too. And then the Children's Festival, more of which later, but the International Children's Theatre and Dance Festival, at the weekends, free events in the park, we attract 2,000 people each day to bring their families, and it's a very diverse audience who come to that, as it is with Chinese New Year, and wonderful celebratory events for the city.